Hi everyone, welcome to Moscan. So in today's video, we are going to talk about two of the most used biasing techniques in MOSFET. The first biasing technique on the left side you can see is constant voltage biasing, where we bias the MOSFET by using a VGS, constant VGS. And the second method of biasing is constant current biasing, where we bias the MOSFET using constant current value. We will talk about why this constant current bias is preferred over this constant voltage bias. So, first of all, in order to analyze this, let's talk about the GM value which we can get in this constant voltage bias and constant current bias. So if I write the equation of GM, transconductance, in constant voltage bias, that equation we can get is mu n Cox W by L VGS minus VT of MOSFET. Similarly, GM for constant current bias we can write as root 2 mu n Cox W by L into I. So since we are biasing using constant current, that's why we have taken the expression of GM which has I in equation, and here we are biasing using VGS, so that's why we have taken the GM equation, we have VGS in that. Now let's see, we can differentiate these two biasing techniques by seeing if the parameters are changing, how the GM will change. So let's see the first thing, what will happen if the threshold voltage of MOSFET is changing, how the GM will vary. So let's say right now the threshold voltage of MOS is VT, and if it changes from VT to VT plus delta V, delta VT, how the GM parameter will vary. Let's talk about that. So if we are using the constant voltage bias technique and the threshold is changing from VT to VT plus delta VT, GM value will, new GM value, let's call this as GM naught. So what it would be, let's talk about that. Mu n Cox W by L into VGS minus VT plus delta VT we will mention here. So the other thing which we'll get here is minus mu n Cox W by L into delta VT. This we already know is represented by GM. So we can write it as GM minus delta VT, we can write is as it is. Now if you see mu n Cox W by L, this will be nothing but GM divided by VOV, which is VGS minus VGS minus VT. So we will get VGS minus VT into GM. So this will be the new value of GM naught we will get if threshold is changing from VT to VT plus delta V. Now you can see there is a shift in the GM value because of the threshold variation. Now let's see how the GM will vary if we are using the constant current bias. You see the equation doesn't have any VT parameter in it. So if the threshold voltage is changing from VT to VT plus delta VT, there won't be any change in the value of GM. So new value of GM naught would be equal to GM in constant current bias. That means constant current bias doesn't get changed by changing in the threshold voltage. The GM value, transconductance value won't get changed. So this is the first advantage of choosing constant current bias on constant voltage bias. Now let's talk about the other parameter, that is mobility. So what will happen, right now we studied about the threshold variation. Now we are going to talk about how the GM will vary if mobility is changing. So let's say mobility earlier was mu n, now it has changed to mu n to mu n plus delta mu n. How the GM will vary. So if I replace this value in this equation where constant voltage bias we are using, GM value will get mu n. Mu n will be get replaced with mu n plus delta mu n. So ultimately we will get mu n Cox W by L. Let's call this VGS minus VT as VOV. So VOV plus this parameter will also come. So we'll get delta mu n Cox W by L into VOV. So this is nothing but G. Let's call this a GM1. So GM1 is equal to this value is GM only plus Cox W by L into VOV is same here. And if we replace this value with GM and mu1, so we will get delta mu n upon mu n into GM. So this is the value of GM1 in constant voltage bias when mobility is changing from mu1 to mu1 plus delta mu1. Now let's see how this GM will vary when mobility is changing in constant current bias. So if we replace the value of mu1 in the equation of GM in constant current bias, what we will get, let's talk about that. So we are trying to calculate GM1 here. GM1 would be equal to under root of 2 mu n plus delta mu n into Cox W by L into I. This is the equation which we have. Now, if we take here mu1 as a common, so what we will get? We will get 2 of mu n Cox W by L into I, and we will get 1 plus delta mu n upon mu n. This we will get. Now from Taylor series we know if this parameter delta mu1 itself is very less, so 1 plus delta mu1 upon mu1 into 1 by 2, that means this parameter, if we talk about this parameter specifically, this is nothing but 1 plus delta mu upon mu, and it has power of 1 by 2. It can be represented by 1 plus delta mu by 2 mu. If delta mu is very, very less. So if we apply the Taylor series, what we will get? Root 2 mu n Cox W by L into I plus delta mu upon 2 mu naught, delta mu n upon 2 mu n, delta mu n upon 2 mu n into under root of 2 mu n Cox W by L into I. So if we solve this equation, you will ultimately, if you replace this with GM, original GM, so you will get here GM plus delta mu n divided by 2 mu n into GM. This is the value of GM1 which we will get in constant current bias if we are changing the mobility from mu1 to mu1 plus delta mu1. So if you see here, what is the change we are observing? In constant voltage bias, the GM value was changing by GM plus delta mu1 by mu1 into GM1. GM. Whereas right now in constant current bias, we are getting GM plus delta mu1 upon 2 mu1 into GM. That means the variation is less compared to what we are getting in constant voltage bias. If you see, we are getting 1 by 2 of variation. The extra addition which we are getting in transconductance, in constant voltage bias, we are getting, if we call this parameter as A, so we are getting A into GM, whereas in constant current bias, we are getting A by 2 into GM. So that means variation is half compared to constant voltage bias. So this is the advantage of choosing constant current bias over constant voltage bias. In this video, we have understood this concept, why usually constant current bias is preferred over constant voltage bias, and what is the effect of threshold variation and mobility variation on these two biasing techniques. You must have found this video useful. If you find this video useful, please share with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe.